Hi, Democrats. Today is Tuesday, August 29th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Tuesday. So, right out the gate today, I want to talk about the Democrats in the State House of Representatives here in Oklahoma. They held a conference this morning wherein they are requesting an investigation into Ann Walters looking for grounds for possible removal. That's a long way of saying it's time to impeach. I am so grateful for the elected Democrats in the state house for taking action, for making it public so it can't be swept under the ground, and by being very decisive that this is what we need to do to preserve public schools in Oklahoma. So thank you, Leader Cindy Munson and the rest of the representatives in the state house. So thank you for that. So that leads me on to, we all know that if I have to mention the superintendent of public instruction, that I'm going to remind him that he is derelict in his duties. So just as a help to my Democratic friends, don't forget Class Wallet. Don't forget all of these adults who are being hired in public schools in this school year who have been implicated, not saying that they're guilty, but have been implicated in child sex abuse cases, and they're still being hired in public schools. And our superintendent of public instruction has said nothing. He's not issued a statement about investigation. He's not said anything, which reminds me of Kingfisher, a high school in Kingfisher. Because nothing was being done, a student and his student and their family has taken it upon themselves to sue the school, to sue the coach, and to sue the superintendent of public instruction by name because of his allegations of what happened during hazing with a particular coach. So, to the House, to the state Senate, if you're looking for a place to starting with that. How about starting, there's hazing going on and he's saying nothing? How about the fact that there are all of these adults who've been involved in child sex abuse cases, again, been involved in, and we're not issuing statements. We're not saying anything. And then don't forget Class Wallet, and absolutely do not forget the absolute terror that he put Tulsa Public Schools under for the last 6 months. So much that can be investigated to prove that our current state superintendent of public instruction is not up to the job. He's be removed. He wants to be a national pundit. He wants to be somewhere giving speeches. Let's free him up so that he can go do that, and let's hire someone who actually wants to be the superintendent of public instruction. Just a thought. It feels like we are out of step with the rest of the nation. We are part of the United States, but some of the things that we do here feel like we are completely out of touch. Our superintendent of public instruction spends more time attacking teachers and librarians than he does talking about curriculum. And when he's talking about curriculum, it's some extreme nonsense. Additionally, I think about House Bill 1775. Everybody knows that one, and I abbreviate it and call it basically the "we don't want to teach full history" bill. There's a whole bunch of other stuff involved in that, but it is, we don't want to teach full history. Me has given the Choctaw Nation and Paw Nation that are home. A lot of them are home in Oklahoma, recognized tribes of Oklahoma. They've been given money from the federal government toward that they can use towards preserving their tribal heritage. One tribe is going to use it for preserving their tribal language. Another one is about preserving tribal artifacts, because they being the federal government, recognize the importance of having a full history, preserving the history, and talking about the history. And so, again, thank you to the federal government for saving us from ourselves. Oklahoma City Public Schools announced that they're going to up security at all sporting events going forward. They're going to limit who's allowed inside, and they're going to have additional security. I was talking it over with staff earlier today, and we all remembered, going to a high school football game as kids was like a highlight of the weekend. And if we could talk our parents into letting us go with just our friends, it was the best. But now, because everybody gets a gun, kids do not get to enjoy just the basic freedoms of going to a football game without a whole lot of restrictions. They can't watch a big brother or sister participate without a whole lot of restrictions because we refuse to have common sense conversations about common sense gun laws. I'm not going to let it go. I know it's Tuesday, and I usually talk about that on Monday, but there's reason for us to talk about it. So right now, all of our legislators, both Democrat and Republican, both House and Senate, are all scrambling around, coming up with their list of bills that they're going to submit for consideration in the next legislative session. I implore you to reach out to yours and ask them to consider some common sense gun legislation. How many more children have to die just because they enjoy a football game? How many more people have to have access to a gun for a made-up freedom? It's time to have that conversation. And if we can get bills considered, maybe we will have a meaningful conversation and get gun laws. All righty. I want to thank you for joining me. I will be back here tomorrow at 4:15. You guys have